Chassidic gems on Parshas Shmos. It says in the Torah, Uvnei Yisrael poru vayishritzu vayirbu vayatzmu b'ma'ed ma'ed. The children of Israel were very fruitful, and they had many children at one time. Shisha b'keres echad, 6 in one at one time. And vayirbu vayatzmu, they increased and they were strong. B'ma'ed ma'ed, very, very much. And Pari was sort of getting to be afraid of them, that they might depose him of his kingdom. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah tell us the secret of one who wants to have children. What can he do? Which button can he press to be zeicha to have children? Chassidic Torah, they know everything. Okay, so it says like this. Uvnei Yisrael poru vayishritzu vayirbu vayatzmu b'ma'ed ma'ed. Children of Israel were very fruitful. They had many children at one time, and they were strong. B'ma'ed ma'ed means very, very much. Very, very much. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah say ma'ed ma'ed is a very famous dictum in the Torah. It says in Pirkei Avos, Ma'id ma'id havishval ruach. A person very, very much should be humble. That's what the Torah means. The Torah is alluding to this, to be strong in ma'id ma'id. In ma'id ma'id havishval ruach, which means they should be very, very, very humble, and that's chus, they will be zeichet to have children. Okay?
Fun.
So, the Pari was saying that he was afraid 10 years perhaps they will increase so much and they will depose him. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah are saying like this. What do you mean 10 years perhaps they will increase? No. The Chassidic Torah are saying that the Egyptians the Egyptians were trying to make them pen means possible, maybe yirbe, to increase their doubts whether there exists Hashem in the world. Pen yirbe, they will increase the pen, maybe, that's what they were trying to do, and they will not have emunah, and then they will have no way to be able to fight against the Egyptians. We see that our strength is in emunah and believing in Hashem. That's what they were after, the Egyptians. Then it says in the pasuk that Vayosimu olav sari misim, they put the Egyptians placed on the Jews taskmasters to build cities for them and weaken them, and they will not be able to have so many children. They'll be so weak. That's what some of the Mepharshim say. That's the simple. Because it says Laman Anoisai, because they were trying to afflict them. That's the simple. But the Chassidic Torah are saying Anoisai can also mean poverty and ani. That the Egyptians were trying to put taxes on them, and to make them so poor that they will not be able to give tzedakah. And without tzedakah, they can't possibly win. The Jews can't win if they don't give tzedakah. That's the important lesson. That tzedakah is very important. Okay, what else we got? Chassidic gems. Let's see. So it says in the pasuk, "Vayigdal Moshe vayetze." Moshe became pasuk Yud Aleph, Beis Yud Aleph, Beis Yud Aleph. Beis Yud Aleph. It says in the pasuk. Beis Yud Aleph. No, that's good. Okay, but it is Yud Aleph. Page Yud Aleph. No. So it says in the pasuk, Vayigdal Moshe. Moshe grew up. Vayetze el Echav, and he went out into his brethren. He went out to be with his brethren. That's the simple. Chassidic Shterelach said, you know what the greatness of Moshe was? That he went out to be socialized with his brothers, to see what's doing with his brothers. He wasn't a leader that would just lock himself up in a room and be interested in himself. He went out to be. That was his greatness, to mingle, to be with his brothers, to find out what's going on there. There's a story about the Vilna Gaon. The Vilna Gaon asked the Dubna Maggid to give him Musa, to rebuke him. So, of course, the Dubna Maggid didn't want to rebuke the Vilna Gaon, but when the Gaon insisted, so this was the Musa that the Dubna Maggid gave the Gaon. He says, you think it's such a greatness to become a Gaon by locking yourself up in a room? Go out, mingle with the people, and then we'll see if you can keep your greatness. That's sort of what this Chassidic Shterelach was saying about Moshe Rabbeinu. His greatness was that he was able to be a Moshe and to mingle with them, to understand the people. Okay, the pasuk continues. Moshe Rabbeinu, the pasuk says that Vayifen, Vayigdal Moshe, he went out to his brothers. Vayar Ish Mitzri, he saw an Egyptian man smiting a Hebrew man, a Jewish man, of his brothers. So the pasuk says, Vayar Ki Ein Ish, he saw that there was no man, nobody was watching. Ki Ein Ish, nobody's watching. Vayaches HaMitzri, he smote the Egyptian, Vayitmeneu B'chayil, and hit him in the sand. That's the simple. The Chassidic Shterelach is saying here, Vayifen Koi V'choi, he looked, which means in every situation that a person finds himself, whether it's a good situation, whether it's a bad situation, Koi V'choi, under any situation that you find yourself throughout life, you have to know, Ki Ein Ish, there's no man, there's no human being in control. Everything is from Hashemayim. No matter what, no matter how things are going well, things are going well. I believe in Hashem. Things are going bad, and you have all kind of questions. Even when things are not so well, you have to know, Ki Ein Ish, there's no man in command. The Rebbeinu Shalom is in command. And to accept what Hashem sends to us. Okay, so that's Emunah, Hashem, that we have to strengthen ourselves no matter what. Then the pasuk continues, the same pasuk, Vayar Ki Ein Ish, he saw that there's no person. He looked here and there, he saw there was no person. Vayach Es HaMitzri, and he smote the Egyptian. That's the simple. The Chassidic Shterelach tell us here that what's the solution to go to come out against and to be victorious against evil in this world. How do you beat evil? Vayaches HaMitzri. How do you beat evil? Ki Ein Ish. If he's very humble, and he's not a human being, he feels he's nothing. If a person has that tremendous midos that he's able to be mashpil himself, lower himself, then Hashem will give him the ability to conquer all evils. The pasuk continues further. It says in the pasuk that Vayonchu b'nei Yisrael, they were sighing they were being beaten and they were being stepped on, and Vayonchu b'nei Yisrael minu avoda, the work was so hard that they were sighing for relief. And then finally the pasuk says, "Vatal shavosam el ve'elokim." Min ha'aveda, because of the hard work. What does aveda mean? Hard work. They were crying, Tal Shavosam. Their cries went up to Hashem because of the hard work. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah are telling us the secret of what should we do to get Hashem to listen to our prayers. What should we do? Which button should we press? So the pasuk says, Vatal Shavosam. If a person cries, if a Jew cries to God for help, it'll be more mekubeles, even min ha'aveda. It's not that they were crying because of the hard work. That's the simple. But they were crying, and that was an accomplishment more than actually the aveda, the basic things that have to be done by a Jew. And maybe it means that with the aveda, within the aveda, instead of just saying the words of Shmos Esrei, whatever we're davening, to put tears into those words, and then Hashem. More Yosem min aveda, Vatal Shavosam, Vatal Shavosam, El Holokim min aveda, even more than the aveda. Aveda, you think, means the hard work. Avodah means Avodah Hashem, Shmos Esrei. If they put their tears into it, it'll be more mekubeles, more acceptable by Hashem than just the davening. Okay, we have one more last Hasidic gem, which is deals with a question: which breaks a person more? Physical work or stress? Which breaks a person more? Which is more harder for a person to handle? Physical work or stress? So the Chassidic Torah say like this. It says in the pasuk in Shmos Hey pasuk Zayin. Shmos Hey pasuk Zayin. It says pasuk Zayin. It says that Pari said the Jewish people have too much time on their hands. They're not working hard enough. They're always saying they want to go out and they want to slaughter. They want to slaughter to their God. It's only because they have too much time on their hands. I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult for them. And he said that from now on, we're not going to give them straw to make their bricks, like we always did, but they'll have to go and they'll have to gather straw for themselves. They have to bring in a certain amount, the same amount they could bring in, but now they have to go look for the straw themselves to make the bricks. That's the simple. The Chassidic Torah is saying, question. Why didn't Pari say they should? Why didn't he give them straw, like always, and to double the amount of bricks that they had to bring in? Instead of not giving them the straw and having them to bring in the same amount of bricks, he could have given them the straw and said, you have to bring in twice as many bricks. He says, no. The Pari wanted to hurt them as much as he can, and he decided that the way to break Klal Yisrael even more is let them have stress and worry if they're going to find enough straw. And that will hurt them even more than the physical labor of having to make more bricks. So he chose to to tell them that I'm not going to give you the straw. They're going to have to worry if they're going to find the straw, and that will be harder on them than having to make more bricks with the having to make more bricks. So we see that stress is the thing that can break the person in the most possible way.